Hi everybody, it's Spoon here. Today, well, on this little video, I'm going to go over some of the camping stuff my wife and I have gotten, because we haven't gone camping in a long time, and I was never a big enthusiast for camping when my children were younger, because I was still in the Army Reserve through that. And to me, going out camping was work and it wasn't fun. I did not enjoy it. I spent a lot of time, we lived in Las Vegas at the time. I spent a lot of time at Fort Irwin because that's where my reserve unit would go a lot, and I was out in tents a lot, and I just didn't see that as being fun. And because of that, my kids missed out a little bit, but my wife liked camping. We'd go up to Mount Charleston, and she'd set stuff up. I'd help a little. I was bad, very bad about it. My wife was way more motivated and way better person than I ever am. But recently we've been going out fishing, we've been doing things, and I've enjoyed it. I forgot how much I really enjoyed that stuff, and we don't live out in Las Vegas anymore. We live out in the Midwest. There's actually water here, so I can go fishing. I even went and I couldn't find my hunter safety information from when I was a kid, so I went and redid my hunter safety. I have some people I know that I'm probably going to go hunting with in the fall, and I haven't been hunting. Let's go with this. I haven't been hunting since Reagan's first term as president. So, I am going to be going out hunting again. I actually have a 410 shotgun from when I was a kid. Now, for the camping stuff my wife's going to do, she doesn't like to hunt, she likes to fish. So, she won't be doing out on any hunting. So what I did was, and I need to stop watching Alone, because Alone is driving my addiction. I've been getting more things. I've been talking to my father. He lives down in the southern states now because it's a lot easier on his body, and he hates the winter. But I'm talking to him. They want to do a pig hunt. He and my brothers and my son-in-law and my other daughter's boyfriend that would like to do a pig hunt probably in October. If we can pull it off, we're gonna. So that's been a driving thing this summer about my wife and I getting things together for camping. So one thing I got here is a 2-quart, I think it's a 1.9 liter. It's a 1.9 liter cook pot. I actually bought it this size because of Alone, because it's one of the restrictions on their list of the size of a cook pot. Now, if I were going to do something, I'm going to find a replacement for the glass lid, because if I go out with my dad and my brothers and all the other guys hunting, we'll break this in, it won't even take too long. And my son-in-law is a former Marine, so I'm sure he'd break this just looking at it, because he can't not break glass. Alright, so, and that's because he was a Marine, not because of him. It's just, it's a learned habit. I'm sure he wasn't raised that way. So, this is a nice little cook pot. My wife ordered a camping percolator too. That would be an interesting thing. I've never used one of those, because when I was in the Army, when I first enlisted out of high school, I was a cook. That's where Spoon comes from. I used to make field coffee. Some people call it cowboy coffee, but I know how to make coffee without using a coffee pot of any type. So I'm going to show my wife how to do that. We're probably going to do that on a charcoal grill outside our apartment one of these days, and we're going to do the percolator, this, and we're going to go over how to start fires, because she wants to use ferro rod, and I suck with it anyhow, so I might as well practice. I've never in my life been out where I didn't have a lighter, so I've always been I got a lighter, I'll just light it this way. So this is the first thing that we got for camping, and it's going to go into my kit. I gotta go get myself a nice, like, Rubbermaid or something box container to put it in, because all my other stuff right now is just full of crap. So this is the first thing. Now, since we're going to go camping, and my wife wants to go, so we're definitely going to not struggle a whole lot, because she doesn't need that. So I found this online, and I really liked it. And it came in a set of 4, so I got it. There's 2 steel straws, and it gives me a bellows then. And I like that, because now I can have a bellows to get the fire going better. 2 steel straws, a cleaner for them, a knife, a fork, spoons, and stainless steel chopsticks. Now, I use chopsticks a lot because when I was stationed in Korea, and I spent a lot of time practicing and learning how to eat with chopsticks when I was there, just because I enjoyed it. And I grew up on military installations, and a lot of my friends, their mothers were from Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, and there was a lot of Asian food. And when I was a kid, I practiced all the time trying to do it, and I really was bad at it. But when I was stationed in Korea, I picked it up, and it worked a lot better for me. And I do like using chopsticks to eat with. For some reason, and they're easier for me to clean. They just dip, rinse them, and I'm done. Now, when it came in the kit, it has the bag, or it has this container. This plastic container to put them in. I prefer the bag. Always have. I always like bags better than hard containers, because if I stuck it in a pack or something, this inevitably would dig into my back, or dig into my hip, or find a spot that just was uncomfortable and I would find it. So when I use these, which we haven't used these yet, so that's going to be one of our adventures coming up. Since my wife is finishing her doctorate now, she'll have weekends free. She's just wrapping up, hopefully, everything we wrapped up at the end of this month, wrapping up her doctorate in nurse practicing, and that will be excellent, because then we can start going out and goofing around again. So the next thing I carry is Fels naphtha. When I go out, I used to carry this a lot in the Army. I used to have that, those little, maybe you don't know, plastic soap dish. I would cut one of these down and stick it in there. Everybody talks about them being used for laundry bars, and they're good. They're really great for cleaning up stuff in the field. Like I've cleaned up t-shirts and got myself to stop stinking, my clothes stop stinking by using this and just water and let things hang out. But I use them to wash with too. And if you get into poison ivy, Fels naphtha is supposed to be real good for, well, it has been for me, cleaning myself up. So like to get the oil off from poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, I've always used this if I thought I'd gotten into it. I'm probably, if I could ever find it again, rubbing alcohol. I used to carry a little bottle of rubbing alcohol with me too when I would go out in the field, because alcohol has always been a great thing to clean up and dry out things. But yeah, Fels naphtha. We actually are picking up some more of this, having it sent to the house, because we're going to start putting it in the cars and in the truck and just having it more around. It's really good. It's been really good for us for cleaning things. Now, I have an old beat up canteen. I don't even remember where I got this thing from. It still has the tip, the part in it where you can stick your NBC mask, your protective mask, gas mask. There's a hose that could come out and stick into that, so that if you were in a contaminated environment, you could tip it up and still drink. I've tried that a few times, and the first few times I felt like I was trying to drown myself, but I eventually got it. And it isn't the greatest thing on earth, but man, if you have to be in that pro mask for 16, 17 hours, these are great. I've never had to be in a situation where I went more than 20 hours having to be in full mop gear. But that actually worked out. One of the silliest things, I never thought it would work when I first got in, and I had to do it. It did. But ran it through the dishwasher to make sure it was cleaned up. It's beat up, but man, these things can last. I melted part of it one time when we were out, just because I set it too close to the fire. And then the old cup that goes with it, this I've used a lot, and I have burned it to all get out. Sticking it into a fire or sticking it onto a burner. Because when I was a cook, even when I became an officer in the reserves, I still was in the mess, MKT, mobile kitchen trailer, a lot. So if I was making something, I just sit it on top of the M2 burner and just let it cook and walk out. That was one of the things about being the food service officer after having been a food service specialist, was the mess sergeant didn't mind if I came in and did a few things, because, well, in the reserves, the first mess sergeant I was a food service officer for had been my mess sergeant when I was a food service specialist when I came off active duty and into the reserve unit. So I knew him pretty well. He's a nice guy, good guy. But that's going to wrap this up for some of the little stuff we're going to start using for camping and just general exploring. My wife's picked out some trails she wants to hike in the area. Closed down railroad lines, actually. So we're going to be looking at that, maybe doing some bicycling and doing some camping off the bikes. See how that goes. Oh, another thing. Wait, one more thing. I was going through first aid kits. The one I have out here, and I had in one of my old packs. And I was going through and purging them, looking for stuff to see if they're expired. I found stuff expired from 5 of 95, September of 96, August of 96. I've been really bad about maintaining the first aid kits. I didn't realize how bad, because I was carrying some of these things all the way into 2003, and I didn't realize they were that bad. So I went through, dug that out, and when I do a video later, I might go over, because I like when I'm out hiking and camping, I actually wear an old Alice harness. I like having that around with me with a butt pack. Makes me look a little crazy compared to people, but I've been messing around, and I like it, and that's what I'll take if we're going to go out. But that'll finish up this one. I'll talk about the Alice harness and maybe my Alice ruck and some other things in another video. Thanks.